Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now, we have the Nintendo Switch reveal tomorrow, and it got me thinking, what should we, as Pokemon fans, expect from the Pokemon Company in 2017? And I just thought it would be quite a fun video to just discuss with you guys what I think might happen, and just kind of speculate. Like, this won't be facts at all, this is just my opinion on what is going to happen. And I just want to talk to you guys in the comments and hear what you think, what Pokemon will do in 2017. Will they do a Sun and Moon sequel, with the potential codename Pokemon Stars? Whether that's true or not, we don't know at the moment. Or will they make the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Remakes, which is pretty much due by now because it's been over 10 years since they were released. So definitely one of those games is on the horizon. I'm going to be talking about why I think one of them is probably a certainty, and then whether Nintendo Switch or 3DS will be the console of choice for these games. Now, before I start this video, just want to mention a couple of things first. I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a few Twintendo shirts to celebrate hitting 100,000 subscribers. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just comment below in this video and you're good to go. And then I'll just pick a few winners, probably around a week or two. I'll just give people time to watch this video. So in around 2 weeks, I'll pick around 2 to 3 winners of the shirts and we'll get it sorted. I'll get your contact info and I'll send you some awesome Twintendo shirts. And if you just want to buy one yourself, the link will be in the description as well. And another giveaway I am doing is in collaboration with Atlas. If you guys don't know Atlas, basically used to be called Team Atlas Go, covered Pokemon Go stuff. Now he started to cover Nintendo Switch stuff, and he will be streaming basically the Nintendo Switch reveal tomorrow. I'm going to be in the stream with him, and we're both going to be giving away a copy of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Now, obviously, you might have the copy already, but there are some people who still haven't had the chance to play the game, so we will be giving away those copies over there. If you haven't subscribed to Atlas, make sure you do so. Awesome content creator. His link, again, will be in the description as well. And finally, guys, question of the day. What do you guys think will be the next Pokemon game in 2017? Do you think it will be Pokemon Stars, or do you think it will be the long-awaited Pokemon Diamond Pearl Remakes? Let me know in the comments below. Without further ado, guys, let's get started with this video. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about the main Pokemon games, and then I'll be talking about what spin-offs we could see later this year as well. So for the main Pokemon game, there are two distinct possibilities, and this is a Pokemon Sun and Moon third game, which is potentially Pokemon Stars, which is only a codename and only a rumour at this point, nothing completely factual about that at the moment. Or it could be Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Remakes. Now, the reason I think we're definitely going to get a Pokemon game this year is because ever since Pokemon Platinum was released in 2008, there has only been 1 year since we didn't have a Pokemon game, and that was 2015, which we just didn't get anything. That was right after Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and that was because they were making Pokemon Sun and Moon at that time. They were basically making a brand new engine. We were expecting a Pokemon X and Y third game, but as we know, that never happened, so that doesn't mean there is going to be a Sun and Moon third game either. Now, they also have the Nintendo Switch coming out this year, which might mean we might have another jump to another generation, which I would find highly unlikely. But as I said, there have been rumours that there is going to be a Pokemon game, a main Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch this year, which is Pokemon Stars. Like I said, there is no confirmation of that. We're going to have to wait and see whether anything is revealed in the Nintendo Switch reveal tomorrow. But I think it would be a very strange move from Nintendo to say, hey look, we got Sun and Moon on the Nintendo 3DS, and if you want the third game, which is the trilogy, you're basically going to have to buy a new console for that with the Nintendo Switch. I think that would be pretty unfair. I think if you're going to do a Sun and Moon sequel or Sun and Moon third game, you're going to have to drop it on the 3DS. However, if you do ask me, I actually think they are going to do a Sun and Moon sequel on the Nintendo Switch, and one of these reasons is not only obviously we have the Pokemon Stars rumour that says they've been working on a game alongside Sun and Moon, which is going to be on a Nintendo Switch. I honestly think with the Pokemon walking animations, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but they found in the data of Sun and Moon that every single Pokemon, even Ditto, had a walking and running animation, and this seemed to hint that this was a feature that was taken out of the game, maybe because the 3DS just couldn't run everything, because Sun and Moon basically pushes the 3DS to its max capability. If you compare it to X and Y Sun and Moon, it looks completely different. Like, you'd think it'd be on a different console, it looks that much better, but it is really pushing the 3DS's hardware capabilities. And so I think walking Pokemon, or Pokemon walking behind you, which it seemed to be that was the case, it just wouldn't have worked on the 3DS because it wouldn't be able to run it. Maybe the frame rate would have been really slow, because if you know, in double battles the frame rate can drop considerably, especially if you're using an old 3DS. So I think the walking Pokemon, or the running Pokemon, or basically Pokemon following you, is probably a hint that there is a Pokemon Sun and Moon like third game or sequel in the works, but because the 3DS can't run it, or run that feature, they're going to move it to the Nintendo Switch. Whether that's good or not, and whether you guys like that or not, I don't know, because I'm definitely going to get a Nintendo Switch, but I would be a bit disappointed as well if the only way to play this new Pokemon game, which is linked to a 3DS game, is on another console. I think I'd feel a bit cheated, definitely. But having said that, the 3DS did come out in 2011, and if you look at the longevity and lifespan of other Nintendo portable consoles, the 3DS is definitely like overrun its course. It's time for a new portable console. Although we don't really see one on the horizon. Yes, the Nintendo Switch is portable, but Nintendo have said that it isn't like going to replace the Wii U or the 3DS. It's kind of like a gateway between those two consoles. So I'm not sure if the Nintendo Switch is going to be advertised as the next Nintendo portable console, because we do know that Pokemon have said in the past that they only want to put main Pokemon games on portable consoles because that's a Pokemon experience. So as I've said, the Nintendo Switch is technically portable, so it is definitely a console that can like include main Pokemon games in its library. Now, even though the 3DS's capabilities can't really be tested any further than what Sun and Moon did, they still might continue to make main Pokemon games on the 3DS, and this is because Nintendo's portable consoles have a longer lifespan than they used to. Normally they'd have 2 to 3 main Pokemon franchises on the console, such as Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow, and then there was Pokemon Gold, Silver and Crystal. However, if we look at the Nintendo DS, that was the first console to actually have 2 generations of Pokemon on it. They had Generation 4, which was Diamond and Pearl with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and they also had Generation 5, which included Black and White and Black and White 2. So if we take that all into account, that basically means the Nintendo DS had 5 to 6 years of releasing main Pokemon games, whereas the Nintendo 3DS has only really had 3.5 to 4 years, which could suggest we have 1 more year of the Nintendo 3DS releasing a main Pokemon franchise game. On the other hand, if we do get Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Remake in the next couple of years, I definitely do think that will be on the Nintendo Switch or another portable console. Game Freak have never released 2 Pokemon Remake games on the same console, so we already have Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire on the 3DS. Yes, that was with a different Pokemon engine, but we had Black and White, which was Generation 5, which was a new engine, and we never got the Ruby and Sapphire remakes then. So I'm going to assume that the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes will be on the Nintendo Switch rather than the 3DS, and I think it will be on a new Pokemon engine entirely. Whether this is an improved Sun and Moon engine, which Pokemon Stars is kind of offering, whether that is true or not, or whether we'll have to wait for Generation 8 before we see a Diamond and Pearl remake. So to sum up my thoughts on the main Pokemon franchise games this year, I think we will get a Pokemon Sun and Moon kind of sequel or the trilogy of it, and I think it probably will be on the Nintendo Switch. I just think the 3DS can't do much more, and you know how they always like to improve on the previous game. And yes, it will be a bit weird that they move from the 3DS to the Nintendo Switch, even though it's going to be part of the same series, but that is what I believe. I just think like the Nintendo Switch needs games for it because it's a new console, it needs fans to actually invest in it, and I think including a main Pokemon game is the way to go. And in terms of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, although I'd prefer them to come out this year, I think we're probably going to see them next year in 2018, and that will also be on the Nintendo Switch. But as I said guys, this is all speculation, none of this is facts, this is just my opinion, but looking at how the Nintendo Switch needs to be advertised and how the 3DS can't really do much more, I think it is logical moving Pokemon games to the Nintendo Switch. And it's also a portable console, which makes sense that main Pokemon games can also be included on the Nintendo Switch. Now in terms of Pokemon spin-off games we'll get this year, I definitely think we'll get one on the 3DS, but I think most of the attention is going to be focused on the Nintendo Switch. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Pokémon Tournament is included on the Nintendo Switch, a kind of improved version, because there have been new characters added to the arcade versions over in Japan, which aren't on the Wii U game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they maybe improve the graphics, even though they're like some of the best looking graphics on the Wii U. Maybe they just improve the graphics even more if that's possible, and add these new characters and maybe some new stages, and just release it as a Game of the Year edition, something like that. But as for what I'd like to see personally, I would love to see another Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. You guys know it's one of my favourite gaming franchises. Even if we just take Pokemon out of the equation, I might even like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon more than the main Pokemon games, which is pretty crazy to say, because I love the main Pokemon games as well. And ever since they released Pokemon Blue and Red Rescue Team back in 2005 in Japan, they have made a mystery dungeon for every generation. And now that we have Generation 7, well, it's about time they make another mystery dungeon. So I assume if they are going to make another one, it will be on the Nintendo Switch. However, Mystery Dungeon has always been really good because you've had two screens to look at, one for the map and one for your actual gameplay, and I'm not sure how they're actually going to really do that with a single screen this time on the Nintendo Switch, but if they do it, I'll be very, very happy. That is a game I really, really want. And the final Pokemon spin-off game I'd love to see this year is a spiritual successor to Pokemon Colosseum, so something that includes all the new generations, because Pokemon Colosseum only went up to Generation 3, and Pokemon Colosseum and Gales of Darkness were really, really loved by fans. Really good game, and I'm so surprised that they never really continued that franchise onwards. So I definitely think it's about time they make a new one. Maybe that is what Pokemon Stars is, because they have been making that alongside Pokemon Sun and Moon. Who's to say it uses the same engine and looks exactly the same? But anyway guys, those are my thoughts and feelings on what we will be getting from the Pokemon Company and Game Freak this year in 2017. Let me know in the comments below what Pokemon games you'd like to see come out this year. And as I said, this isn't facts, it's just all speculation. I just made this video so we could have a little discussion about it. And as you guys know, I just love speculating about Pokemon games, and it's about time we speculate about something new. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, definitely hit the like button down below. Really, really appreciate your support. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon, then hit the subscribe button down below. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!